And we're live. What's going on, guys? My name is Nelson.
I'm Devin.
And welcome back to the Qbox. Man, episode 8? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
We're doing 8 now, right?
We're doing 8. Yeah. It's almost like reps. Are we at rep 8?
Yeah, exactly. The first thing I think about is there's like 1,000 other podcasts out there that are like an episode like 1,000. But we're like, I don't know, man. For me, these are just like very huge milestones,
Absolutely, brother.
And it just feels really good to be like just in this position to make it this far. And I'm really thankful, that we're able to do that with each other and, just take it to that level, man. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. I'm super excited. Because we'll get there. We'll get there to the 1,000, which that's a lot, but
it's a long stretch.
but again, for us, it's just the journey. And I know we keep using that word, but it's the journey and just the excitement to, before we ever hit record, we're already smiling. And once you hit the record button, I'm truly smiling. So it's not anything that I'm just putting on a smile. I'm truly happy to speak with my brother every single week and just talk about life. And again, it's exciting to do that. So
definitely. Guys, if this is your first time watching us, do us a favor and go ahead and subscribe to our podcast. That way you could be notified every single time we do upload a new podcast. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please, and I'll say please, 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 please,
yes,
please. With a triple please on top, with a soda on the side. No, I'm kidding. Rate us. We cannot stress that enough. We just really, we're brand new, guys. So any support that you guys do give us is really absolutely beneficial for our development and what we're doing, what we're trying to do for the world. And so if you do that, that'd be absolutely fantastic. And for those who are also, besides being auditory, who are also very visual people, we do have the same exact episode on YouTube. So whenever we do post a podcast here, we're also posting at the same time via YouTube. So if you guys want to see our pretty mugs, then go ahead.
Crazy facial expressions,
all the above.
Right.
Then feel free to do so. So, but other than that, how you doing today, Devin?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. It's a beautiful sunny day, so can't complain.
You know what's so funny?
Can't complain,
it's
brother.
Freaking weird, dude. Like, was it like sunny the whole day, or like it got cloudy?
For the most part, it's sunny. So actually, it was a day or two ago. It went back to like 58 degrees, which doesn't sound like a lot, but
are you kidding me?
Yeah, I walked outside and I had on a hoodie, and I was like, man, I guess I had already had it on, so I was like, I'm not going back in the house taking it off, but yeah, the weather is definitely, had a couple days where it went, I won't say really cold, but it, definitely a shift in degrees, and then the other day it jumped again to almost 60 degrees. So
crazy. Something similar happened here. This is why I'm like laughing, because I'm just like, it's way too similar.
It's the same thing.
Yeah,
being in Germany.
Yeah, in Germany. Yeah, so it's very aligned for some reason. Like today was also very, very nice day. It was but the difference was I don't know if it was for you the same, but it was super cold this morning. And
I'll tell you what, I peeked my head outside for half a second, and it was a little nippy. I know it's been really, and again, I'm in Detroit, but it's been really windy the last couple of days, and I don't know where it's coming from, but yeah, it's been pretty windy. So
yeah, and then for me, after that, the day before yesterday, it was warm. It was actually close to almost 70 degrees.
I don't know if the weather patterns are moving from your side of the world, since you're already ahead in time, as we joke about. You're technically in the future, because you're 6 hours ahead.
This is literally what it is.
Right, you're 6 hours ahead of me. So I guess technically, you're receiving it maybe first. I don't know. I'm not a meteorologist, so but either way, it is interesting how weather patterns are very similar.
Definitely, man.
Or week to week.
So crazy. Yeah. Interesting how that all aligns somehow. But Damn, you've been following the sports lately, boxing. Were you able to catch that fight with Gervonta Davis and Leo Santa Cruz?
I did. I finally watched some clips of it, and my goodness,
Well, we thought that
was yeah. I grew up watching boxing, so I would say, I watched obviously Mike Tyson. That was I don't want to say our era, but in a sense it was for us watching him box and everyone else. But
yeah,
I eventually got away from it and started watching UFC more, which I said that in the previous podcast. I don't watch as frequent as I used to, but watching Gervonta, am I saying it right? Gervonta?
Yeah, Gervonta Davis. Yeah.
All right, Gervonta, make sure I'm saying it right. But yeah, watching him definitely gave me the revitalization of wanting to watch boxing again. Not that I've always loved it, but seeing him knock the guy out, which is usually that's what you want to see. That's just, it's part of it. Someone's got to get knocked out. So, and when they do, my goodness, can it be magical? And that knockout, for those that did see it in the 6th round, it looked very easy.
Yeah,
it almost looked like it was a spar session the way he came under, and it was a left hand, and if I remember correctly, left hand came under almost like his arm, and just boom, knocked him right up in front of the ropes.
And I think that has a lot to do with having a solid fight IQ. It's this is for me from the beginning of the fight. I was able to catch it. He was getting hit. Like Leo,
they were throwing punches back and forth. I would say that
Santa Cruz is
throwing them back and forth.
He was hit. He was, it's that Mexican fighting spirit too. Like that dude was laying, throwing some hands at him, and that's the first time I actually got to see Gervonta kind of test it, because he's such a dope fighter. He's so fast, man. He's literally a replica of Floyd Mayweather Jr. And, imagine Floyd Mayweather mentored him and molded him into another version of him, So same speed, same charisma. But, he's the difference between him and Floyd Mayweather Jr. Is that, Gervonta Davis is a knockout artist. He knocks people out, whereas Floyd Mayweather is a phenomenal fighter. He's more on the strategic, let's get the win, But Gervonta, because that's why they call him Gervonta the Tank Davis.
Oh, the tank. Okay.
Because them hands are like freaking tanks when they land on your face and you're going to sleep. Yeah, that's what they're,
Right.
Yeah, but great fight. From round 1 to 4, I was like, I think Gervonta might get tested here. That might be a close call if he doesn't do something that's interesting,
Right.
And then boom, 6th round came around, and he went right under. And if you remember, if you go back to the clips, Leo was smiling a lot during the fight. Like he's like, okay, I see you. Boom, 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 smiling like, hey, boom, boom. Like, all right, I feel, he was just, his vibe was like whatever to him,
Yeah.
And I think I was getting Gervonta a little irritated, so eventually he was like, whoop, caught him right under the chin. And it was
so quick. I mean, he was done. Oh yeah, he was done.
He was knocked out cold. Oh my God.
Done. It's over when they don't even do the count. They just, immediately the referees. That's it.
Yeah, his legs buckled from underneath him, and
like that they're not getting up. I mean, their eyes are gone. And when I say gone in terms of just looking into the stars, I was like, no.
Oh yeah, he was in La La Land.
They're out of there.
Yeah. So but great fight, man.
Good fight, brother.
Yeah, and it's funny because it just seems. Oh, by the way, Gervonta Davis is also a B-more kid like yourself. He's from Baltimore.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
and again, I for the most part, I know most people that come out of Baltimore, but did not know he was from B-more. So that's pretty cool. And that's definitely homework I need to do more on my end. Here you are, a New Yorker, telling Baltimorean about somebody from his city. So yeah, I didn't know that. So I definitely got to get back into I guess more or less the facts. People coming out of my city. So
yeah. MMA, boxing, fighting like combat sports like this are very, very interesting for me. You know, and it's in you know, from a Gervonta Davis, from that perspective, it's just really nice to see somebody young, you know, who went through a lot, you know, in his lifetime, and for being so young, you know, picking the right path and saying, hey, I just want to do something, you know, with my life, opposed to just getting into hustling and just getting to things that he shouldn't be doing. Like, you know, he took the best route of his life, and you know, now it's starting to pay its dividends. So I'm really, really happy. And it's inspiration, you know, it's seeing him fight, you know, it's very similar to the way I'm training my son, you know, as young as my son is now. You know, I'm just trying to get him prepared and prepared for not being violent, you know, because I don't really promote violence ever. If anything, I always tell my son, listen, buddy, you know, we don't cause violence. You don't hit anybody. You know, this is not something you do, you know, but you need to know how to protect yourself at all times, you know.
Absolutely.
In case you need to, there's a situation when you need to get out of there. You just need to be prepared. It's almost like when you get a flat tire, you got to know how to, you know, we talked about it the other day.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
We did.
Yeah. You need to know how to change a tire. You need to be ready for that. Because, you know, if you're out there in the middle of nowhere, what are you going to do? You got to be prepared for anything. So that's kind of the message there.
Exactly.
What were you going to say? Tell me.
No, my mind was going, I was just going to say, yeah, I mean, at any point, someone could test you. And,
yeah.
You know, as they say, you know, it's better to be prepared than be unprepared.
Absolutely.
In a situation, if needed. But yeah, I think just when I haven't seen him, I almost said seen him. I actually haven't seen your son box yet. But hearing how you say how hard he hits, and
oof,
you know, when he hits your hand, you're like, man, that it hurts. So
yeah, we got the boxing
gloves. You got a little boxer to make him. So
yeah, we got boxing gloves. We got the pads. Like, this little dude is fast. He's strong. He was just 5 years old and just turned, you know, just turned 6, October 6th. So
goes quick, brother.
Yeah, he's definitely
goes quick, and it's going quick. And when I say going, meaning for both of us, as fathers, it goes very quick.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, we're both, you know, you've been a father for how many years now? How old is your oldest?
10. Yeah.
Wow.
I think so. Yeah, a decade.
Crazy,
so,
man.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, my oldest niece is going to be 13 this month, and that's even more crazy to me to think how quickly me and my brother's daughters are growing up.
Crazy.
But yeah, my oldest is 10, so my oldest is 10, and then my youngest is 6, which same age as your son. So
crazy, man.
Crazy.
Man, who would have knew? Like 20 years ago, we wouldn't even think about, you know, kids, you know. And
absolutely not. We were still kids.
Literally, and
literally,
you know, it was something like to go from that world, being, you know, Anchorage, Alaska, you riding the bus, meaning you're riding the damn bike from the 1950s with
Mom's
the
bike.
Yeah, with the cushion on the back. Remember that shit?
No, yeah, I remember. That was my favorite bike.
Yeah,
I looked like I was delivering mail, but I didn't care.
You look like you were delivering milk.
Right. I looked like I was delivering milk in the 50s, but I did not care because my butt felt good.
Yeah, that was the funniest thing I've ever heard.
I do not care. I was like, hey, this bike is absolutely amazing. I still talk about that bike to this day. That bike is amazing. Well, yes. Yeah, definitely. Looking back then and looking into where we are now.
Right,
yeah,
right.
I mean, it's like anything. I mean, when you're looking at life that young of an age, you can't even begin to think about what your life is going to be in adulthood. Those thoughts don't even come to your mind. Yeah, maybe for some people it does, but I mean, you're talking about over 23 years ago, or right at 23 years. You know, at 12 years old when we met. No, we were focused on music. I was focused on playing basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking anything about fatherhood. So
yeah, you know, I mean, speaking of fatherhood. That's the topic in itself, man. Like to really wrap your head around.
Absolutely, brother.
You know, just dive into in terms of, I mean, our journey individually. Like, you know, from you know, firsthand experience what that is like. To have two children, two daughters, and you did it twice. I'm still on my first one.
Yeah.
And I mean, but I have you. I just, you know, I could only imagine, because I could only say it from my perspective. How beautiful I must have felt the moment that you found out that you were going to be a dad. How did you feel when you found out you were going to be a dad for the first time? I actually never asked you this before, so I'm actually quite curious, to be honest.
Yeah, no. And I'm just gathering my thoughts. I think when I found out I was going to be a dad for the first time, I was excited. I was nervous. I was anxious. Anyone, obviously, millions around the world, you know those first 12, 13 weeks are so crucial. So it's excitement, but then at the same rate, you know, and I can only speak for myself. I was nervous as well. I'm like, oh God, I'm like, okay, are we out of the first trimester? Is everything good? And just, you know, that
for those who don't know, what does that mean? Just that way they know what that is.
I didn't really know how to break that down.
What is it like? Are you referring to like?
So the first 13 weeks. So that I mean, anytime you're having a child, those are typically
it's like 2 months. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
First 13 weeks are very crucial. In essence, the survival of your child.
Right. Exactly. Okay.
So that's in a nutshell. I can't really get any more scientific on that. But that, again, to answer your question, brother, my initial feelings and reaction, I was super excited, and then once we got to the point of seeing the sonograms, that's when it became real. I was like, oh my goodness. I saw my oldest daughter. I was like, my gosh, she's got my head. I was like, this is crazy. Like, well, she's got my head. And I'll never forget, obviously, when I initially, like a lot of men, granted there are men out there who want a girl first or whatever. But I did. I was like, oh man.
Did you want a girl first?
I wanted a son, you know, but I was like, but I think that was just innate. But I was like, oh man, I was like, it'd be cool to have a son. I was like, you know, little Devin Jr. But yeah, I found out I was having a girl, and that just changed me immediately, even before my baby came into this world. And I was like, wow, I'm having a girl. I'm like, and my brother had already had his first daughter. So my daughter is the second oldest. There's 5 girls between me and my brother. And yeah, I was like, wow, I'm having a girl like my brother. And I had already, you know, started learning his experiences that my brother was experiencing being a quote unquote girl dad, as they say now.
I have no idea what that feels like.
Right. And then I was becoming a girl dad, and it was, you know, I started to, at that point, once I did find out that I was having a girl, I had already started gathering books about fatherhood. And then I really started focusing more on the girl portion of it, because I was like, man, okay, I don't know what it's like to raise a girl. And I mean, I'm a boy, or, you know, young man at the time. And, you know, but getting back to just my feelings overall, brother, I was beyond super excited. When I was so excited. So, but what about you?
Yeah, for me it was.
Granted, I can take those emotions and go right into my second, but yes.
Yeah.
But what about you?
I mean, I'll be honest, man. I'll be really transparent. The moment that I learned that I was gonna be a father, I was freaking nervous immediately. Because the first thing you think about when you've never been in that situation is your current situation in terms of where you are financially, where you are in terms of goals, you know, where you are.
You brought up, but go ahead. As soon as you just said that, but go ahead.
Where you are in life and spirit and things of this nature. But I was nervous, and what I've seen from my experience, and this is why I took the turn that I did. I saw that a lot of people, friends and non-friends, who went through similar situations, some of them would run from it, run from the responsibility, and then some of them will man up, and so yeah, for all those who decided to run away, I can't respect that from my heart, because that's just not something you do, like it's no child's fault that's happened, and yeah, you should be mindful during the creation process, what you're doing, you can't expect anyone to just expect the woman to get to get an abortion. It's not fair. You're taking a life when you do that. So first thing I thought, and I'm being real here. Like, this is what we talk about. We talk about real stuff. Fatherhood. I was frightened, man. But at the same time, I was 20, 28, 29 at the time.
What made you frightened?
Because it was a responsibility that I wasn't sure I was ready for yet. Based off of my current situation, I was still getting my things together, and I'm sure a lot of people could relate out there in terms of that feeling. Like, if you don't feel established,
Absolutely.
If you don't feel like you've set and hit enough goals in your life and your journey that would make you feel secure enough to be able to manage another human life, you have to imagine the discomfort and responsibility, and you know what? At the end of the day, I learned that, I'm holding myself accountable here. So after I got frightened, 30 minutes later, I came back to self, and I said, you know what? Okay, let's do it. What's the next step? What are we gonna do? So at that time, I was still living in Seattle, Washington, and my son's mom was in Germany, of course, at the time, and yeah, it was a decision that I wasn't ready to make yet, but I felt like, hey, listen, I'm the man. You got to go where your family is now. Now you got a new situation. You got to do what you got to do.
Absolutely, brother.
And this is a part of being grown up, man. And all right, so I told
part
her,
of becoming an adult. So
yeah,
you grow up. I always tell, and I've said this. I'll tell you what. My grandmother, I'll never forget this. When I had my first kid, I called her, and obviously she, this is before she was even born, my oldest, and she literally told me, "Get ready for your life to speed up."
Yeah, I've heard that before. That's powerful.
I said, what? She's like, "Get ready for your life to speed up." I'll never forget that. And I'm like, what do you mean my life is going to speed up? I just, I couldn't comprehend. I understood exactly what she said, but in that moment, I just couldn't comprehend that. I'm like, how's my life going to speed up? Man, I get it. Okay. Because a decade later, wow, it has went so fast. And again, to mention my oldest niece, I mean, my goodness, that makes me emotional just thinking about. I saw a picture the other day. I happened to be going through some photos on my phone and saw my oldest niece when she was, I think one or two was a photo shoot she had, and that just made me emotional. I was just like, man, I didn't actually cry, but it made me just thinking like how quick time has went. And then for me, I started looking at like, wow, she's gonna be 18 in 5 years. My oldest is gonna be 18 in 8 years. And I just say that as a marker, in terms of being
my son's going to be 18 in 12 years.
It's like, wow, same thing with my youngest daughter. And so yes, it is, when she made that comment, get ready for your life to speed up, she wasn't joking. But I think also it's all about trying to enjoy that. And I say trying, enjoy it. Enjoy those times for new parents out there. And I just had some friends of mine, they literally just had their first kid, really close with them, I think a day ago. And it's crazy because I've known them for a while, and it's crazy. Like, wow, like they have a kid. And that was the thing that I even said to them, hey, enjoy every moment, because you look at these, as you've said before, these little beings, these little humans, and to go from something you're holding in your arm. I used to hold my oldest and my youngest like a football, meaning their head right in the palm of my hand. And it's funny because when you initially have a kid, unless you grew up around babies, which I did not, you're nervous. You're nervous of holding a baby in your arms. It's like, man, I don't want to drop him. Even when I held my oldest niece, I was like, my brother handed her to me. I was like, oh man, I don't want to drop her. He's like, you got her. He just gave me that, like, you're good. Don't
you know what
nervous.
it is? Can I highlight something in there? Because I could relate in so many levels.
Yep.
Their neck is not able to hold itself up yet.
Exactly.
They're still learning balance. They can't walk. So you're literally being held accountable. Again, you're being vulnerable. And you put in a situation where you have to grow. These are things that are teaching us to grow. I was also extremely frightened to hold my own son when he was, this dude has, he has no, and I can only imagine how he felt. He's frightened. He has to trust that I'm not going to drop him, or that I'm not going to hurt him, or that I'm not going to, do anything that's going to affect his life in a negative level. So this is why, becoming a father, man, is it's really powerful, man. There's so many lessons in that alone, man.
Absolutely, brother. We're still learning these lessons.
Well,
every day, every month, every year.
Correct. Yeah. How would you and just I want to hear from you,
Yeah.
What based on your experiences, how would you define being a good father?
Man, that's an open-ended question, brother, and that is very subjective in the same light, meaning being a good father, because that answer is going to be different from father to father, or even from a mother to a father,
right?
Meaning the father of a mother's children or child. But I would say when it comes to being a good father, and again, I can only speak for myself because that's the only person I can speak for. It's truly being there. And when I say being there, being available, sometimes you can't be there every step of the way. And as you mentioned, my kids aren't in my physical presence every day. But
how does that make you feel?
But spiritually, I'm with my kids.
How does that make you feel?
It affects me sometimes. And I don't want to say sometimes, but obviously FaceTime.
It relieves some pain.
That it does. But, and I mentioned this in the previous episode, I have to be in my kids' physical presence, but there is not a second of the day, literally, that I'm not thinking about my two peanut heads. There's not a second of the day. I feel their spirits with me wherever I am. Doesn't matter where I am. But to be a good father, bro, I didn't have my dad. That hurt, man.
Sorry, man. Sorry.
But
sorry, bro.
Oh man.
Sorry, buddy.
But I love my dad, man. But I wanted to be everything he wasn't.
Right.
And yeah, man. I just try to give my daughters everything I didn't have. And I tell them, Daddy didn't have his dad.
Yeah.
And I don't ever want y'all to feel that. So I try to give them everything I didn't have, man. Try to show them, take them to museums. Doesn't matter what it is, man. You know, playing basketball by myself. I only wish I could have my dad.
Yeah.
Come shoot around with me.
Sure.
But yeah, man, being a good dad, man. Just be there for your damn kids, man.
I can't agree enough.
And again, that's just coming from me. I know how big that is. You know, when you go into events and people having their dads, your dad ain't there. My mom was my dad.
Sure.
As well as being a mother. But my brother was my dad, man. And my brother, 2 years, 7 months apart, man. We usually say 3 years, but yeah, man. I still look up to him as a father. We're both fathers, but I still look up to him as a father, man. And yeah, again, bro, I just try to give my daughters everything I can, man. And like I said in the previous episode, if I give up, I'm showing you how easy it is to give up.
Oh, it's powerful.
Yeah, brother. Now I didn't shed some tears, man. I didn't expect that to come out, brother. But
damn, this is getting real, bro.
Yeah, I didn't expect that to come out, man. But
that's getting real.
Yeah. What about you, brother? What do you feel? How do you feel about the being a good father?
Huh? It's oh man, like where do we start, man? Like, I think first of all, just to add some humor to it for a second, in terms of just looking at it always on a good light. Just fucking be there.
Right.
Don't run away from your responsibilities. Like just be there. And I was, just going back to that point where I was frightened. She was in Germany. I was here in the United States at the time. And I could have easily just said, no, I'm not ready for this. Don't ever contact me again. Mm-hmm. What the hell would I have done? I would have been no different in my situation, that I experienced, and I'll get into that in a few, but for me, what defines being a great father is holding yourself accountable, be ready to learn, keep that cup empty, man. And you're gonna learn as you go. That's just how that works. You learn.
Absolutely, brother.
That's one of the main jobs that I've ever had to do, where you literally have to learn as you go. You can't go to school to be a father. This shit don't make sense.
I'm gonna tell you. I'll tell you what. It's funny now that I look back at it, brother. The books that I read, prior to me having my oldest kid, they were semi-helpful. And the reason why I say semi is because
informative, yeah.
They were informative, but once you have the kid, I was like, whoa. The whole book, it didn't completely go out the window, but it was like you're kind of, it's like a fire drill.
Right.
Sounding the alarm when that baby.
It's like, am I preparing to be a father?
You totally forgot what you read. You're improvising every moment up plus a moment.
Am I going to school to be a firefighter, or what am I doing?
You're like, what did chapter 5 say? The hell with chapter 5. Get that baby a bottle.
That's some real stuff, though, man. That's like, yeah, it's the truth.
Like, Like, I don't remember. Chapter 6 says we're supposed to let them sleep. Well, are they sleeping? Let's go.
According to Chapter 6, Article 4.321, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, states you still have a lot to learn.
You're trying to read the chapters at 3 a.m. in the morning. Your eyes are burning.
Man, at that point, you look like a Chinese person. Like, you have no eyes. Like, it's like, you're done. Nah, but, all jokes, all love. Yeah, man. Just defining what in terms of defining what being a good father is, just being present, being vulnerable, being holding yourself accountable, and just getting ready to step outside yourself for a moment.
For sure.
Because this human being, when they come to the earth, they are depending on you to be their leader, to be their guide. I would say more their guide. Okay? Yeah, you have to lead them to be a good person, but at the end of the day, they have to find their own definition of what leadership means. But if you establish that foundation that's designed to push them to that point of leadership, I think it starts by being their guide. So there's a difference between, being someone's leader opposed to somebody's guide, because I feel being a guide is more passive. But at the same time, I just feel like it's a little bit more hands-on in terms of the development process of a small child. And I also, going back to when I was a child, yeah, I mean, we went through similar situations, bro. Yeah, it's
absolutely, brother.
I would always ask myself, why can't I see my real father every day? It fucked me up every time, to be completely honest with you. It was the only time I got to see him, and of course, this was in the beginning. I learned later on in life why that was the way it was, and I'm very thankful for it, because it just really gave me the openness mentally and spiritually, to be able to adapt to any life situation. Yeah,
for sure.
And I have to say, I wish my father was there too. 100%. I wish he was right there all the time. I wish he was ready to be there for me. Yeah, man. It was just one of those things that didn't happen that way. So again, like yourself, I found that I needed to not do that in my situation. And I always tell him,
absolutely, brother.
Whenever I do talk to my father, I said, nothing against you, Pop. But I wanted to do exactly what you didn't do. And I didn't want to do anything that you did do. Because so many questions you need to answer later. Why you did that,
brother.
But what's interesting is that I can still look at him, Devin, to this day. Yeah, I can still look at my father right now, and I can still tell him that I love him so much.
Same here, brother.
I always tell him, "Hey, Pop, man, I love you. We're gonna be all right. We'll figure it out." Fuck, now it's happening to me. It's real, man. Look,
I'm gonna tell you what, brother.
Yeah.
I tell my mom this all the time. We're all a product of our past, brother. Can't run from it. Doesn't mean you can't be somebody different. That you can't get over humps in your life. But that childhood is right there, even if you try to run from it.
Yeah.
That's why I said in the very first episode, this will be therapy for us.
Oh, facts.
And that's what this is. To let out these, I don't want to call them dormant feelings, but these feelings that have been there, brother. And now,
unanswered.
Correct. And now being fathers of our own. But one question that came to my mind, how do you feel and I don't want to use the word absence, but your father not being around as much as you would have liked him to be. How do you feel that has motivated you as a father?
I'll tell you something that happened to me. I'm no longer together with my son's mother. We decided to go our own ways, and wish her so much success and health and wealth, all that good stuff. Um, when we first split, I just before I go into it, just say the last part of the question again, because I have a reason why I'm asking.
No problem. It's essentially what I was asking was, how has you not having a father, and I say not having, but as much as you would have liked to see him, how has that motivated you as being a father of your own?
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I heard that correctly.
Yep, no, you're good.
Yeah, I learned that it wasn't gonna work, and I was destroyed. I'll be honest. You have to imagine you're breaking the family. This is how can I look at my child right now with a happy face, the child that I'm supposed to mold into somebody successful, a young human being that's depending on me to guide him. Yeah. Something happened here. When I learned about this situation, I panicked. So I said, I was already in Germany at the time, yeah, I was in Germany at the time, and I said, listen, wait a minute. Hold on, listen, we're going 1,000 miles an hour here. Let's take a step back for a moment. Listen, look. Let me go see my family for 2-3 weeks. I'll come back. Let's just reset, and let's just keep this family together. Yeah. And so she agreed at the time. And I was like, I just started freaking out. I said, I gotta go now. I need to go home now. This is so unreal for me right now. I need to go home now. I'll be back in 2-3 weeks. She's like, okay, all right, no problem. I understand. It's all good, And we bought the ticket. And she's like, do you want to say goodbye to your son? I said, no. I can't look at him right now. I can't face him. I don't feel good. I don't want him to see me like this. I'm fucked up. I see him when I get back. I'll see him when I get back. I can't face my kid right now. He looks up to me too much. So I left. And that 2 to 3 week trip that I planned to leave for ended up turning into almost 5 months. Because then I learned during that time that she didn't want to be with me no more.
I remember, brother.
Yeah, and this is actually the summer that you actually came to visit me, and I hadn't seen you in like 5 years, man.
Exactly.
It was a very stressful time, dude. Very stressful time. And the only thing, and that kept replaying in my mind was, why did I do that to him? Been with him since birth. No, I'm better than that, man. It was tempting to just stay there.
Absolutely, brother.
It was tempting to stay in the States and not come back. Because I had nowhere to go back to. Mm-hmm. How do I face this little dude? But you know what did it for me? Again, going back to the question of what motivated me. Yo, she was like, one day, she was just like, listen, I know this is going to hurt you, I'm going to tell you, but your son asks, you know, when he gets off the phone with you, he just all he wants to do is see you, see you, see you, see you. So, you know, that told me so much. The effect that I had on this little dude every day. How interactive I am with my son every single day. The moment he was born up until that point. And then she was like, oh, what got me? And then she's like, it didn't even hurt me despite our own personal issue at the time. Is when she had said, is when he said at 4 years old, where's my father? Do I have a father anymore?
Yeah, brother.
Yo, that's all I need to hear.
Resurgence of energy, man.
Brother, that's all I needed to hear. I said, damn, yo, fuck that. I'm coming back. I'm gonna stay vulnerable. I'm gonna hold myself accountable. And I'm gonna fucking grow. That's what the fuck I'm gonna do.
That's power, brother.
Fuck.
I'm proud of you, brother.
Yo, man.
I told you that then, man, to be in a country where you don't have any family.
Correct. Yeah.
You now have, you've gained friends.
Yeah.
Sorry. I say gain. I know you already had, but you have more friends now. But
sure. Yeah.
That's huge, brother. For you to go back to a country that you don't know anyone outside of having, your son.
Correct.
Because that, as you mentioned on the previous podcast, brother, that's the only family you have there. Mm-hmm. Blood related. Now, obviously, your friends become family as well. But
yeah, of course, yeah.
But I am, brother. I sit here and we're both definitely sharing emotions that have
been bottled up for a while.
Have been bottled up, brother. Yeah. And
I'll tell you one thing.
I remember that journey, man. But go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I'll tell you, just to kind of wrap that up, because I'm ready to get back on some positive stuff now. But it's just it's memory lane for us, right? So
I'm gonna say this. Yeah. This is positive. Okay.
It is.
Tears don't have to be negative. Okay. And I'll say this as well. Any men listen to this, let it out. Because we're bred to almost, it's almost like caveman days to not show our emotions.
Yeah.
And keep everything bottled in making sure our families are taken care of and, taking on the emotions of our of our children, our wives, our girlfriends, right. and not letting it out. It's not good. And I've learned that with age. It's not that I'm sitting here every day walking around crying. No, but
no, hell no.
Right, but I also
this is rare. I don't think I remember the last time I seen you cry. To be honest with you, I think the last time I seen you cry was when we were 13 years old.
When we were 13, brother, and we left New York, or I left New York, and you stayed, and I had to go back to Alaska. Yeah, that's That was a whole other that was a whole nother waterworks situation. Meaning when we started crying, but I wanted to touch on what you just said, man. It is not a negative, man, to cry. Okay?
Yeah, of course.
And this doesn't just go for men, and I'm only speaking because we are men. This goes for anyone.
Yeah.
Let it out, because if you just keep it bottled in, whether you're by yourself, whether you have to. I have no shame in my game saying I've spoken with my mother about situations, and the waterworks have started, and when I'm done letting it out, I do feel way more refreshed, because again, as I say, those thoughts that are in your head, man, they can, it's like a tornado effect, man. They can have a way of spinning words in your head, and obviously it's your own mind, but you're like, okay, you almost kind of feel lost in a sense. Depending on what you're thinking about, or maybe a situation you've been in your life. But if you're able to speak about it and let it out, and it necessarily doesn't always have to be you crying about it, but I do think sometimes just having that cry, man, and just letting it out, that can help. It can help a lot.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's, they say when you cry, you let out the poison, and it's
never heard that.
Yeah, it's poison. That's why if you ever cried, obviously we all cried, and sometimes the water drips accidentally into your mouth, from all this crying, you're not conscious of it. It's salty. It's very salty, and it's literally fucking bad energy coming out of you, and it's very powerful. Actually, it's really, really important that you cry sometimes. That's what they're there. That's what it's designed to do. You're letting out toxins. You're letting out bad energy, bad frequency. So it's like, it's so powerful to do that, man. But, just, again, wrapping up that part, I decided to go back. Okay. I remember getting off the airplane. This little, and next morning I was so jet lagged, dude. I was like 9-hour difference, just completely exhausted. I remember getting here to Germany and was just so tired, and everything was still so like not surreal to me at all. Like everything was not real at all to me. Like I felt like I was in a freaking dream, And then I just said to myself, you know what, man, I just want to see my son now, And so I slept. I said, let me just get a couple hours of sleep, and the next morning just bring him to me. And I'll never forget this little dude, man. This little dad, like this little baseball jacket on. He had just started wearing glasses, and I had never seen him with glasses on in person. He had started wearing glasses during that 5 months that I wasn't around. And I remember the bell rang, and I was so nervous. And he was just so happy. Daddy, I get to see my father. And he was, yeah, man. Open up the door, and I just see his eyes lit up. He was so happy.
Absolutely, brother.
I dropped to my knees, man. I told him I will never do that again. No, Daddy will never do that again. I'm here, buddy, for the rest of your life. I promise. So, it's an emotional time, obviously.
Hey, look, you about to have me up some waterworks again, brother.
It's fucking real shit, man.
I was about to ask you to hold me, brother. Like, can you hold me, man?
I cannot explain his happiness. And if that's not enough motivation, not enough inspiration, bro, that's all I needed. I said, yo, buddy, I'm gonna be there for you forever. As long as my motherfucking ass can walk,
right.
talk, breathe, be conscious, be present, Daddy's gonna rock with you for the rest of your life. Don't worry about that.
I'll tell you what. I tell my daughters this all the time.
Yeah.
Daddy's got your back.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, man.
Don't ever forget that.
Hell yeah.
I don't care where you're at in this world. I don't care. You're living in also one of you, because obviously I got two. You know, one of you is living across the world, or both of you across the world, wherever you're at in this planet.
Yeah.
I got your back. And that is so
powerful, man.
So important to me to know that my kids know that.
Yes.
Because there's nothing that, if you will, everything I'm doing now in my life is building a legacy for them. Truly is, man.
I can't say that any better.
It truly is building a legacy for them to say, man, damn, okay. Man, my dad's been through some crap, man.
Yeah. But if you go back a few steps, so have our parents.
Correct.
Oh, their parents.
And I'll say, and I wasn't going to go this way, but yeah, when we're talking about our parents, and I already mentioned it, but my mother was a single mother, man. It's me, my mother, my brother, man, and wasn't easy.
I can relate.
It was hard, man.
Of course.
It's very hard. But my mother, and I tell it to this day, has unparalleled strength. And I think any mother, or even if a father that's a single father or a single mother, raising a child or children by yourself, it's not easy. And
nope, not at all, bro.
It's not easy. But I will absolutely say my strength, my drive, my determination comes from my mom. My mother never had a chill. When I say chill, she didn't have a chill pill. It was always progress forward, always move forward, no matter what it was.
Yeah.
Whatever we were going through in our lives at that time, she always had a vision to just get us to the next point. And even when we get to that point and it didn't work out, whatever that may have been, still kept pushing forward. So I always give her that. I always let her know that, because it truly is why I have my drive, personally and professionally.
Mm-hmm.
It goes both ways, and how I move as a person, how I move as a father. And yeah, but it just reminded me. I say reminded me, I'll never forget it, but just brought up the thought that came in my head about our parents. And it's again, coming full circle, brother. With you coming back, man, I know I already said it, brother, but that's huge. I will never be able to say it enough. When I say huge, you moving to Germany, moving back, essentially, is what you did. Moving back and staying, brother. Not easy, man. So that's one thing I can say, us both as fathers. I can't say that I've done anything like that in my life. Obviously, no, I don't live in the same state as my children. So yeah, that is a challenge in itself. But at the same rate, I'm not in a completely different country. I'm still domestic. So I'm not trying to learn a new language. I'm not trying to learn a new culture and adapt, if you will, and still adapting to this day, meaning you. Within the German culture over there, which I know you love. We talk about all the time. You love it over there. It's very peaceful. And there's many things that you love, but again, that has came with its challenges. At times, and even now. But ultimately, bro, you stepped up to the plate like you knew you had to, and being a good dad, brother.
Thank you. And I have to say the same for you, man. Like, it's no easy task, man, doing this. The first thing that can, the question that comes to my mind is sometimes when I'm in the middle of being dad is when I'm in dad duty, the first thing I'm thinking of, like, how in the world can one prepare for this?
Absolutely, brother.
Can you? You cannot prepare for it. You could read it all you want. You could read all the shit you want.
Read all about it.
Yeah. You could definitely read all about it. That motherfucker that said that shit is famous for a reason. Read all about it.
Read all about it.
Yeah, like honestly, man, like you could read all about it. When it comes down to being about it,
yeah,
it is a totally different ball game.
It's a totally different ball game. There's no. This is the best way I look at it. There's no book you can buy on life.
Facts. That's powerful.
There's no book you can buy on life. They made a game out of it, but I'll tell you what, when it comes to real life, there's no book. There's no game.
That's powerful.
You got to live through it.
When the moment that you looked at, you know what? I'm going to ask you 2 questions.
Yeah, brother. Shoot away, man.
And I'm asking for a reason because at this point, you've already been through it once. Yep. So how was it for you? What was the difference between you? Not that there's anything different. It could be exactly the same, but everybody's life story is different, right?
Yep.
How did you feel when you looked at your first daughter's eyes when she came out of the mom and into your arms the first time looking at life, breathing the oxygen, opposed to seeing your second daughter's beautiful eyes and seeing her breathe her first beautiful air? How did that make you feel? What were the differences in those feelings for you? Because you've done it twice. This is something I haven't done.
Yeah, I've done it twice, brother.
I hope that makes sense what I asked you.
No, it makes sense. It makes clear sense. Okay, cool. To answer the very first time, yeah, I mean, to look at.
No, he's smiling already. Look, he's ready.
No, I'm not, because I'm envisioning it. Yeah, my daughter's birthday, Cinco de Mayo, man.
Nice.
So yeah, to see my daughter's eyes, the most surreal feeling you could ever have in your life, man. Didn't seem real.
Never does it?
You spend these 9 months waiting. It's like, I make jokes it's like a long cake baking in an oven,
Facts.
And you're just waiting.
They're transitioning from one world to the next. So exactly. Sorry, I look at it as a I look at it as a 3-step process. You coming from the universe. You dropping down into the womb. Then you staying there for 9 months in that world. And then you come out of the womb and then discover a whole other world. So it's literally 3 different worlds that you're experiencing as a transit before you actually hit the real world. And then that's when life lessons start happening. It's crazy.
Absolutely.
Sorry, brother. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. Hey, yeah. Brother, we do it back and forth. Yeah. But yes, but again, looking to my oldest daughter's eyes for the first time, she looked a lot like me. So I think that was.
She definitely does look like you a lot. Yeah.
Very just crazy in itself to see a little mini me in the form of a girl.
Now you know what you look like as a female.
Exactly. It was like, wow. Now they got the Snapchat for this. They didn't have Snapchat a decade ago. Now you can put all the wigs on.
You crazy. Anyway, go ahead, man. Oh man.
But yeah, I guess yeah, again, man, when I did see my daughter, man, just it was so much joy, and my God, man, it did. It just changed me, man. It changed my drive. And when you were talking about earlier, about goals in life, and I'm going to get back to my second daughter too, how I felt. So
of course.
I'm not going to forget. But just took me there, man. Yeah. I was afraid. I was nervous. I was excited. I was like, man, I my mind, I kept thinking, I don't have enough money saved up. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough money saved up to take care of this child. Like, what am I going to?
You never do, right? It feels like it, for God's sake.
It feels like it, okay? Because it just feels like there's just not enough. There's not enough income to take care of this little human being. But life worked itself out to where I was able to be the sole provider for my family, meaning to where their mom did not have to work for 6 years. So
awesome, man.
Yeah, for 6 years. But what I will say, coming back to my second daughter, my youngest, same exact feeling. But I tell you what, I call my daughter Salt and Pepper because one of them's brown hair and one of them's now blonde, and so which cute. Is the craziest thing to look at my face, with blonde hair. It's the most hilarious thing alive.
How do you think I feel? My child is half Puerto Rican, half Persian, half German. I got a blonde, little, like dirty blonde haired dude. Like, what my family says? Oh, look, he's a white Nelson. That's perfect. And I think it's adorable. It's just it makes you laugh.
No, you good, brother. But when I did have the second experience with my youngest, actually her hair was like it was like a darker brown, not darker, like kind of a sandy brown, and then I don't know, out of nowhere, it's like she became like a cartoon character or something, and her hair just went blonde.
What did you said like something funny.
You go ahead, it's like a little dragon. It's like a little Dragon Ball Z character, when they get angry and their hair goes a different color.
You're crazy, bro. That is insane. I had the opportunity to see her on camera, and
oh man,
she is. You have beautiful daughters.
Thank you, brother.
But one is more.
Same. You got a handsome son. I almost said beautiful. He is beautiful, but he's handsome. He's very handsome.
Thank you, man. But yeah, the oldest is very, very, very shy.
Very shy.
And that little young one you got there, that's she looks at you dead in your soul. Yes. and you as an adult, you're like, what do I do? You get nervous. Look, because she's just very boom. She looks at you dead in your soul. And
she's not afraid. She's very direct. My oldest is, you said the best word. She's very passive. She's very reserved.
She's a lot like you.
She is, but
not exactly, but a little bit, yeah, quite a bit.
I would say between the two, they both have similar characteristics of mine. So but my youngest, it's a good balance. But my youngest is definitely, I don't want to say coming out of her shell, but she my mother's words exactly. She's something else. Okay, and
definitely,
and she is just some of the things that come out of her mouth. I'm like, what? Where did you even learn that?
Like, you're gonna have to make sure she's good, Yeah.
I'm not ready. I'm not for either one of them. I'm not. That's another thing of having a girl versus girls having versus.
That's actually my next question for you.
Boy, man.
What is the difference? I mean, obviously you don't know the difference between having a boy and a girl, but I only know from this experience, right? So, like.
Oh my goodness. I think as a man, when you have a girl, you think about all the dudes and guys that you grew up with, and you're like, man, I cannot let let my daughters date one of them dudes.
Nope.
Okay. Like, and they're still out here. Okay.
We're showing this for a reason.
Exactly. They're still out here. But I think that is also equally important when you're talking about from having a daughters, man, is the importance of my daughters having a relationship with their father.
Right.
As a man, because I am their example.
Yep.
I am their leading example of what hopefully one day, if they decide to get married one day, whatever, however that looks for their life. Okay. Right. We'll just even say partner. Okay. I am still the example in the way that, I carry myself every day, in the way that, hygienically, all these different things, you know, but I purposely show my kids like, hey, like I want you to look for one day when you're out there looking for a relationship. Hey, you make sure, I tell them all the time, you don't need anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you that firsthand. You don't need anybody for anything. You do it on your own. I don't want some person trying to shackle my daughter saying, oh, you need me.
Can't live without me.
You can't live without me. I don't think so.
Sorry, my New York comes out. The fuck out of here.
I don't think so. But again, man, just going back to the fact of having girls, it definitely is different.
Yeah.
It's interesting just the way you look at the world. And I think when you're even talking about, dating, it's interesting because now you to some degree, you almost kind of feel like you look at women different a little bit. And when I say different in terms of just, even though I'm very respectful, even more respectful.
Correct.
Because understanding, like, wow, like
you become more conscious because you have
right. You become more conscious and aware. Like, man, I'm raising two myself.
Totally.
Two young girls are going to be women one day, and just being mindful of that, man, and cognizant. But it's a fun journey, brother. I got a long way to go. I'm not in.
Likewise, man.
I'm not where they're going to be teenagers yet, but it's coming soon. I know. So there's definitely going to be some more challenges. I know. And again, it's just learning. There's a book, an audio book, that I'm not done yet, but it's called Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters. Highly recommend it for any dads out there that have daughters. And I think even if you're a mom with a daughter, I don't think it matters. But the book is it's actually a female author, but the title of the book is Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters. But just some really impactful things that I've already heard that have already changed my mind on just things that my daughters could be potentially thinking that I don't even realize. I'm like, man, okay, let me take a step back here in the way that I'm approaching this situation, because I have to approach them differently. Yeah. Them being the, I don't want to call myself an alpha male, but because I'm not, that's not my personality, but maybe me coming off as an alpha male. I have to be very cognizant and aware in the way, and this is all part of my journey with them as I grow older with them, because that's the thing. I'm growing older with them. But being a quote unquote boy dad, brother, how does that look to you? Because again, like you said, I don't know what that feels like. I don't have a son. So how does that look? What are your feelings?
Being a boy dad, it's quite fun, man. I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, I get to fly drones with my son. I get to, we get to play like a lot of boy games. We laugh about the same stuff. Like, it's like, and he gets it. He's like, "Yeah, Dad." That's funny, Dad. I'm like, "Damn, you get that? You're only 6, bro. You just turned 6. Okay." Like little funny things. Like, he's even starting to pick up my humor. Like the little
starting, or he already knows.
Yeah, the same facial expressions.
Right.
Like, to see, as a man, to be able to see that little human being that's a boy sort of slowly transition into you, another young man, but in a different light, is absolutely phenomenal, man. Because he's still a dude, just like you, and so I guess it's a different approach, completely. I can imagine, based on what you've shared today your time, tonight my time. Yeah. It's magic, bro. Even down to hearing him sing now. He's starting to sing too.
I didn't even mention that, but my youngest, oh my goodness.
Yeah, okay.
She loves singing. But anyway, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man, just like his energy, his creativeness, his sensitivity, like me, like, you could tell already, man, that he's gonna follow in the footsteps of me a lot, and it's just freaking awesome, man. It's like freaking magic. you know. I helped create you, dude. Like you're my little guy, man, and I'm gonna ride with you to the ends of the earth. That's what my mother taught me. You ride those wheels till the motherfucking wheels fall off. Meaning until you can't no more. Meaning until you
Absolutely,
leave this
brother.
world, you ride with your family. You know, and family for me is everything, man. And so like, you know, whenever I hear this question of like, hey man, you ever get homesick? I always tell them, nah. And they're like, why? I said, because, you know, for me, family is where, you know, home is where my family is.
Absolutely, brother.
No matter where I am in this universe, where I am in this world, no matter what planet I'm on, as long as I got my little guy there, my only direct family besides my mother and my father. This is a new segment of family. Okay. I'm starting something new, a new chapter. This is something that's you feel great about. You feel it's an accomplishment, you know. Despite the problems that are always going to be present, like, do I have enough money? Do I have enough this? Do I have enough that? You know, can I create or provide a beautiful lifestyle for my family? These questions are
Absolutely, brother.
always going to be questioned in the mind, you know. But it's up to us to really be, again, cognizant and also, you know, mindful of the fact that, you know what, at the end of the day, all we got is the moment.
Sure,
That's
brother.
all we got is the moment. And so being a father dad, being a boy dad is magic, man. Also seeing my kid play soccer, that's another fun thing, you know. But you know, just kind of wrapping that up, man. I know we've been talking for a little while. I say it's time to close the chapter on this
Oh
one,
yeah,
but
oh yeah. I mean, we will always circle back to
of
fatherhood.
course,
There's just
of
no way
course,
around it. And
yeah, it's a part of
hell,
it.
every episode is probably going to come out somewhere, some
Yeah,
shape, form, fashion, because
facts.
that's who we are, and obviously our kids mean the world to us. So it's going to come out. But what I will say, brother, and this will be my last question before we wrap up. If you could offer, and I won't say multiple, just we'll say one, you know, for the sake of time. Um, what would be one advice you would offer a new father?
Sure. First thing that comes to my heart and soul is don't be afraid.
Love it.
Don't be
And
afraid.
couldn't agree more.
You gonna figure it out. You know? As long as you're putting a smile on your child's face, then you're winning. Then you're winning. Everything else outside of that shit, it's gonna fall into place.
Absolutely, brother.
What
I
about
couldn't.
yourself?
Um, be ready for change.
Oh shit, that's another good one. Power.
Because change is going to happen so quickly.
Love that. We're circling back to that first beginning. I love that's power.
It happens. It's a beautiful thing, but it when you're in the moment, it seems like everything's happening slow. When
Yeah.
you look back and it's 3 months and it's 6 months and it's 9 and it's 12, you're like, wow. And you look at just those milestones of how much change. Be ready for change. So
Oh.
that would be my absolute advice. And obviously, there's way more we can give, you know, as we get
Oh,
further in episodes.
there's gonna be a part 2 to
But
this.
oh yeah, but
Not right away, but we'll get it there.
yeah, for sure. But no, but yeah, again, brother, I would say be ready for change, because
Yeah.
inevitable, and it's gonna happen because they don't stop growing. None of us do. So
Facts.
we don't stop growing. So, but that leads me into our quote of the day, which actually comes from the famous track star Jesse Owens. Yeah, no, I was going to say the one that I found, and this was a really good one. It says, "Find the good; it's all around you. Find it, showcase it, and you'll start believing in it." Powerful. What do you think about that?
You have to, you have a choice in life. You got to be negative or you could be positive. So you have to find the good that's around you. You have to make the best out of every life situation. And in order to do that, you have to believe that it's possible. So to put that all into perspective, that's our mantra, so to say. That's like our motto in terms of how we approach every day. I always say smack every day in the face. Believe it's going to be all right. Get that bag. Get focused. Secure that bag, meaning your financial success. Your mental, most importantly, health and success that comes along with that. Mental health is what you say, the real wealth.
Happiness.
Yeah, happiness is the real wealth. So, yeah, man. Great episode, man. That got real.
Yeah, that got real, man. But I wasn't expecting it, but again, this is something that we both needed, bro.
Yeah, I agree.
We both need to get it off our chest. Meeting those emotions, and I know there's others that at some point we'll continue, to get off our chest. And again, what I love about our podcast, brother, is I said it last episode. We're trying to be, and hopefully people can feel this. We're being as authentic as we can be, and I want you guys to know it's not easy. Even though sometimes it may look like it's very effortless for me and Nelson. It's not easy, but I also know, as I said before, there's a purpose for me being here. There's a purpose for you being here.
Yeah.
And that's shedding light on things we've been through. That's shedding light on the wisdom that we can provide. Doesn't matter the age. And that is what we enjoy. So couldn't say any better, brother. This was an amazing episode and super pumped, as I always am, to jump into number 9. So
number 9, crazy. Yeah, I guess, so guys, thank you so much for being a part of this episode 8 for us. This was, obviously you got to see how vulnerable we were and just releasing some emotion, I guess, again, that's been bottled up for so long. And I just want to thank every single one of you for being a part of that journey with us today.
Yes, thank you.
Whoever took the time, just thank you very much for that experience. So again, if this is your first time tuning in to our podcast, definitely do us a lovely favor and go ahead and subscribe to our podcast so you could always be notified when we're dropping those gems for you. And and
for sure, brother.
And we look forward to seeing you on the next one.
Yes, can't wait.
So we'll see you next time, guys.